We are back here in Madden 25 franchise mode, and today you guys might notice that these rosters look completely different than what they currently are in Madden 25. The reason for that is because I loaded in the Madden 12 roster download here into Madden 25, so we have guys like Larry Fitzgerald, Patrick Peterson, Tom Brady, and Gronk are back in here, Steve Smith, Greg Jennings, Clay Matthews, Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham, Earl Thomas, Marshawn Lynch, Cam Chancellor, etc, etc. And today with this roster we are going to be doing a fantasy draft to see if I can draft a Super Bowl winning team using this Madden 12 roster. I'll put up a picture of this roster download, so if any of you guys want to try it for yourself, up on the screen right now. I'll also leave it in the description if you guys want to try it out. This is a very cool roster. I did do a franchise by myself and it was very fun. So with that being said, we'll jump into this draft and see. We get the number 2 overall pick. Wow, that's huge. So Aaron Rodgers went first overall. Now we're up on the board, and the top players we can choose from: Jason Peters, Patrick Willis, Arian Foster, Tom Brady, Joe Thomas, Jake Long. So a lot of tackles that are 99 overall, so this must have, and a 98 overall right here as well. So there's a lot of really good tackles. Kelvin Johnson, Marshawn Lynch, Ray Rice, DeMarcus Ware, Gronk is here. There's a lot of nostalgia going through these players. Well, Greg Jennings is here. I was so ecstatic when the Vikings signed him. I'm a Vikings fan for those of you who don't know. Drew Brees, I actually did do a fantasy draft using the Madden 18 roster download. That was my previous video if you want to check that out. I took Drew Brees in round 1. For just a little spoiler there, but if you want to check that out, I recommend it. It was a very fun video to do. Troy Polamalu's here, but I mean, it's round 1. We're only going 1 season, so I'm not really looking to draft like a younger player because again, it's only 1 season, so we're just trying to build the best possible team for 1 season. And there's this guy here, Tom Brady. You know, he's kind of good. You know, he had a pretty decent career when he played in the NFL. And with that being said, we will be welcoming Tom Brady to this offense here with the number 2 overall pick. And I think it's really cool how this roster has face scans and stuff like that. That is a amazing addition. And now with our round 2 pick, we don't pick until the 31st pick in the 2nd round. So there was a huge gap in between our last 2 picks. So there's still a lot of talent left on the board here. Like, there's a lot of 90 pluses here, so we definitely can't go wrong with our next pick. And we also do pick in just a couple more picks in round 3. But what I think I want to do, which is very important, is build up our defensive line. And there's a lot of good corners here. Champ Bailey, I actually might go with him. We could go with a corner here, Champ Bailey, but building out the defensive line, Vince Wilfork, teammate of Tom Brady, of course, on the other side of the ball. Dwight Freeney here. But I mean, a 93 overall defensive tackle is very hard to pass up, even though getting Champ Bailey would be huge for our defense. But getting a guy on the defensive line is very important here. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to take Vince Wilfork here. And then hopefully Champ Bailey is available in round 3. If not, we'll just take Charles Woodson. But here in round 2, we are going to be taking Vince Wilfork and bolstering our trenches on the defensive side. So Joe Hayden just got taken, so maybe that means Champ Bailey didn't get taken. So yeah, he's still here. All right, well, we're getting an 89 overall corner here in round 3. There's a pretty big drop off when it comes to cornerback overalls, so getting an 89 overall one in round 3 is huge. So Champ Bailey, welcome to the team. We'll be adding him here. And another thing I didn't mention, we'll probably be going about 20, maybe 25 rounds. I did go like 28 rounds in the Madden 18 one, so it'll be something around there just to make sure I fill out this entire team. So what I want to do here, I could get Charles Woodson. That would be huge. We would have the best corner duo in the league for sure if I did that. We could go Ed Reed, 89 overall. We could go Jeremiah Bell, 89 overall as well. Or let's see the wide receiver situation. Steve Smith, 85 overall. Or we could go with Jason Witten at tight end at 85 overall. So what I think I want to do here is I'm going to take Charles Woodson and just really bolster this secondary and pair him up with Champ Bailey. Here in round number 4, Charles Woodson, welcome to the team. And now we're back on the clock here in round number 5. So what we're going to be doing is we need a wide receiver for Tom Brady. He's currently the only guy on offense. We have 3 defensive players picked. So we will be pairing Steve Smith up with the GOAT here. He's the highest rated receiver on the board. So we'll take him. Steve Smith, welcome to Indianapolis. And now in round number 6, so there's like no quarterbacks available. Brett Favre is a 71. How old is Brett Favre here? He's 42. Okay, I guess that makes sense. That's just kind of weird to look at. Brett Favre being a 71. I also saw Peyton Manning. I think he was like a 77. That's just so weird to see. And Kurt Warner, of course, he's a 76, which granted, how old is he here? He's 40. So like it does make sense. It's just really weird to see those quarterbacks at such a low overall. But what I think I want to do here, we could get Reggie Wayne, 85 overall. We could get Jason Witten. I think it's a little early to go for an offensive lineman. An edge rusher, though, would be pretty big to get. So, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll be taking an edge rusher here. John Abram at 85 overall. We will be adding him to our defense and pairing him up on the defensive line with Vince Wilfork. And we're back on the clock here for round number 7. So, what we could do is we could take Reggie Wayne. If he's still here, he is still here. Because we only have 2 guys on offense, we have 4 on defense. But I think what I want to do here is continue to build out this defense. And there's a 95 overall linebacker here in round 7. That's just too good value to pass up. London Fletcher still being here in round 7. How old is he? He's a 95 overall. He's 36. Okay. Well, I guess that kind of makes sense because the CPU kind of does value age with these things. 99 tackle though. That's just too good value to pass up here. We're going to be adding another piece to our already elite defense, I would say, because we have Champ Bailey, Charles Woodson, Vince Wilfork, and then John Abraham. So our defense is looking very, very good so far. We could add a safety here, Rodney Harrison, 85 overall. We could add him. We could add another interior guy. There's a lot of good interior guys, so maybe we can wait. I think Tom Brady really wants us to get a receiver, though. Is Reggie Wayne still here? He is. Okay, well, Tom Brady, as good as he is, he needs guys to throw the football to. Reggie Wayne, 32 years old. Our team is so ancient, it's actually insane. So we're really capitalizing on the CPU, just like valuing age over overall. And I mean, it's working out for us. We're getting a very high overall team. But in round 9, I think we go back to the defensive side of the ball. We could add a safety, Rodney Harrison, 85 overall. That's really what I'm leaning towards because the safety overall drop-off is kind of significant because I'm starting to see some 79s show up. So I think what we'll do here is we will take Mr. Rodney Harrison and go on to make this secondary maybe even the best in the NFL. I could only imagine, and he's 38 years old. So yeah, again, this team is ancient. And now for round 10, Bryant McKinney is on the board. He's a 93 overall tackle. I don't usually take offensive linemen this early on because I feel like there's a lot more value in other positions. So actually what I think I'm going to do, I'll take Antonio Gates here at 85 overall. That's very good value. And again, the tight end overall drop off is starting to happen. So adding an 85 overall tight end here makes a lot of sense, but what we will be doing is if Bryant McKinney is available next round, I'll take him. But for now, Antonio Gates, welcome to the team. Okay, for round 11, let's see. Bryant McKinney is still here. So we will be adding our first offensive lineman, and he's an X factor as an offensive lineman. So, I mean, I've seen that before, but I've never actually seen it in a game. So I have no idea what his ability could be for an X factor. But I mean, Bryant McKinney, we will be adding him here, giving Tom Brady a left tackle to protect him. And if you guys are enjoying this roster and seeing how this team is shaping out and everything, if you guys want to see like a full long-term rebuild with this roster, because there is actually draft classes out there that sync up, so long-term rebuild actually is very possible. If you want to see one of those, let me know in the comments which team you guys would like to see me do, and I will gladly do one, because like I said earlier, I did do one by myself, and it was a lot of fun to do. So if you guys would like to actually see me do one for like a video, I'll gladly do that. Just let me know in the comments, and I will go ahead and do that. I kind of repeated what I said twice there, but we'll ignore that. But yeah, with that being said, adding another edge rusher here is very important because the edge rusher drop off is starting to happen. 81 overall here and 80. So we're going to take an 80 overall while we can. Kyle Vanden Bosch, I think. I don't know. I hope that's close enough. We will be adding him here and adding another piece to our defensive line. And then I'll be taking another interior guy in this next round here. So round 13, we'll see what interior guys are on the board. So we'll see defensive interior, Casey Hampton, 86 overall. Can't complain about that. That's very solid. So our defensive line is looking great. Our secondary is looking great. We do still need another safety and a couple linebackers, but overall, our defense is looking very good. So it's time to turn our attention back to the offensive side of the ball. And Brandon Jacobs, he's the best overall player at 89 overall. And that value in round 14 is way too hard to pass up on. He's only 29 too. So it's actually kind of surprising that he's still here in round 14. But we won't complain about that value. Brandon Jacobs, we will be adding him here. But yeah, I mean, what we'll be doing now is just filling out the rest of our offensive line. The right guard glitch, pointed this out in the last video, is still broken. What you can do is you sort by player age, then you can see by overall. But what we're going to be doing is we are going to be taking Zach Strife. I hope I pronounced that correctly. He's the highest rated right tackle currently. And I'm pretty sure I took this guy in the Madden 18 roster draft as well. But yeah, we add him here. And now going into round 16, I think what we do is we add another linebacker before we finish out the offensive line. We also need a safety too. I can't forget about that. So there's still an 80 overall. Donovan Darius, I hope I pronounced that correctly. I think so. But we'll be adding James Farrier, I don't know, one of the two in round 16, and adding another piece to this insanely good defense. He's 36, so again, we have an ancient team. Our average team age is going to be like 35 or something insane. I wish you could check that in Madden. That would actually be pretty cool if you could like look at that. But yeah, what we'll be doing here in round 17 is adding Donovan Darius. Before I get him, I have to guess. I'm guessing he's 32 years old. Let's see. 36. So I was just off by a few years. And here in round 18, there's a lot of good offensive linemen here. But we're not going to take any of them. We need a slot corner, and Terrence Newman, Vikings legend, is still on the board. We're going to be taking him here in round 19, and I believe that completes our defense. Oh no, we do need one more linebacker, and that was also round 18. I was wrong. But yeah, we do need one more linebacker. We'll worry about that later. What we'll do now is complete this offensive line. So Leonard Davis, 85 overall, left guard. What about right guard? Bobby Williams, 84. So we will be going with Leonard Davis here in round 19. And if Bobby Williams is still here in round 20, we will take him. He's not. Wow, okay. What about a right tackle? We could move to right guard. Kevin Berry, he'll kick inside to guard, 87 overall. There's still a lot of good tackles available. Superstar ability, 32 years old. And then last but not least, we do still need a center. So let's just see what's the highest rated center, 80 overall. So I think what we could do here is we could move a tackle to center. In real life, that probably wouldn't be the best idea, but it's Madden. Even though Madden is extremely realistic, we're going to bend the rules a little bit. He's 6'7", 340, so he's going to be a very tall center, but I mean, it's Madden. It's not like we're playing these games, so we'll move on from that. And we do still need a slot wide receiver, so in round 22. So, I mean, Randy Moss is here, 76 overall. How old is he? He's 34. Like, this just feels so weird to see Randy Moss at a 76 overall, but that's just what they had going on in Madden 12, I guess, which Madden 12 is actually my favorite Madden of all time. Fun fact, and Keenan McCardle is here, the current Vikings wide receiver coach. He's 41. We're going to take him just for that reason because I'm a Vikings fan and he's the wide receiver coach here. But yeah, Madden 12 is my favorite Madden of all time. I also think it has the best Madden soundtrack of all time too, but that Madden 12 soundtrack was so good, it was definitely my favorite one of all time. I also did meet someone on Madden 12 Ultimate Team who ended up being one of my best Xbox friends for a couple of years, so that's just another fun fact about Madden 12 here. But yeah, round 23, we do need one more linebacker to complete this defense, and Paris Lennon is a 78 overall. So we will be adding him here. I'm not sure if LeVar Arrington is an edge rusher. Like, his archetype is speed rusher, so I'm going to just assume that is the case. So we will be adding Paris Lennon here. And then outside of that, our team is basically complete, outside of a kicker, punter, and fullback, of course. But we will be adding that in the following rounds. So Paris Lennon, it looks like no kickers have gotten taken, so we really have our choice out of anyone. But we're going to take Sebastian Janikowski here. He has X Factor, which is, for a kicker, I have no idea what your ability could even be, or how you could even get to that ability. during a game, but that face scan for a kicker is actually insane. But yeah, now in round 25, we are going to be going with a punter. Andy Lee at 96 overall is the highest rated one on the board. So we're adding our franchise punter here in round 25, and then outside of that, all we really need to do is add a fullback and then maybe a wide receiver 4 just for fun. We can do that, but fullback, John Kunn, former Packers fullback, is the highest rated one on the board. So we will be adding him here, and even though he was a Packer, I used to really like him. Even though I really try to steer clear from liking Packers, Bears, and Lions players, every now and then there's a couple of players where I make an exception. But yeah, so Randy Moss is still here. We're going to add him to the team just because connection with Tom Brady, there's going to be some chemistry there. And now for round 28, I mean, there's really nothing that I can think off the top of my head. We could get a backup tight end. I have no idea how to pronounce that guy's name. So we're just going to take Ben Watson. Ben Watson, 70 overall backup tight end. 85 speed though, for a 30-year-old, I guess that's not too bad. But for a tight end, 85 speed is actually pretty decent. But I guess for round 29, there's really nothing. I mean, Patrick Surtain is here. I mean, I guess why not? We'll add him to the team here, and that's going to complete the team. There's really nothing else we need to draft. We're in round 30, which is pretty far for a fantasy draft. Let's just see what quarterbacks are still here. Dante Culpepper, Vikings legend. Nate Davis, he's a guard currently in the league. And then Luka McCown's here. AJ Freely, I kind of recognize that name. Chris Sims, TJ Yates, David Carr is here. What about, am I going to recognize anyone else? Drew Stanton, Christian Ponder, Vikings legend. You know what? We're going to add him. We'll let Tom Brady mentor him. He's 23. We'll let Tom Brady mentor him and turn him into the best quarterback of all time. So yeah, with that being said, we're done with the draft, and we'll sim through and check out what this roster is looking like. I need to move a few positions around, and then we'll check out what the team is looking like. And with the draft all done, we are sitting at an 89 overall with a 92 offense and an 87 overall defense. So this offense might just be the highest rated one in the game. We're led by none other than the GOAT, Tom Brady. And we have an elite offensive line with a 6'7 center. So Brandon Jacobs, he better go for 2,000 yards. And Tom Brady, he's going to have like 10 seconds to throw in the pocket. It's actually insane. Antonio Gates is out here as well. Reggie Wayne, Steve Smith, Keenan McCardle. So this 92, oh, and John Kunn. Can't forget about him. But yeah, we are going to be running the Bengals playbook. As you guys know, it's like the greatest offensive playbook of all time, according to Madden. So we'll be running Bengals offense and Buffalo defense because the Bills playbook for defense is also very good. So we'll be sticking with that. But yeah, the defense, 87 overall. We have an elite secondary. I mean, our corners are insane. Champ Bailey and Charles Woodson. And then Terrence Newman in the slot as well. Our corners are actually insane. And then this defensive line is going to be getting so much pressure and stopping the run with Vince Wilfork in there. That's an insane defensive line. I can't imagine any team wanting to go up against this defense. And then can't forget London Fletcher, 95 overall. He's the highest rated player on this defense. Like I said, this team is actually insane. And then our special teams is even good too. We got Sebastian Janikowski and Andy Lee out there as well. So yeah, this team absolutely should be a playoff team. But yeah, this team is just way too good to not be contending this season, and I'm not going to spend too much time yapping about it. I'm excited to see what this team can do. So we will go ahead and sim through the season, but before we do that, as always, the record prediction. So I think this team could go 17-0. You know, granted, that is very, very optimistic considering this is Madden and this team could go 9-8 for all I know. But my official record prediction will be 15-2. You guys can comment yours if you would like, and without further ado, I'll go ahead and sim through the season. And as the season simulation is slowly coming to an end, like I said earlier, if you guys want to see a full long-term rebuild, let me know in the comments which team you guys would like to see me do, and I would be very open to doing one of those. And so we go 11-6, so a little worse than what I expected, quite frankly a lot worse than I expected, but we're in the playoffs. That's what matters. So the Titans win the division. They go 12-5. Houston Texans were right behind us, 11-6. So it looks like all teams in the AFC did pretty decent outside of the Jets and Steelers. So I guess it was just a very competitive year in the AFC. So I guess that kind of just is what it is. Team ranks wise, we were 7th with points per game. 6th with pass yards, 22nd with rush yards. With the Bengals playbook, your rush yards are always pretty low. We were 1st with defensive points per game, so our defense was very good at stopping teams from scoring, and they were also good with stopping teams from passing the ball. We were 5th with defensive pass yards, and we were 17th against the run. Could have been a little bit better there, but you know, it is what it is. We're taking on the Baltimore Ravens here, who had a very good run game. They were 6th with rush yards. Of course, as you can see, they're led by 99 overall Maurice Jones-Drew, and they were top 10 with defensive points per game. Outside of that, their team ranks were not really the greatest. I mean, defensive pass yards isn't horrible with 13th, but yeah, outside of that, we'll take a quick glance at league leaders. So Aaron Rodgers, who went number 1 overall, leads the league in passing yards with 4.7 thousand. We only have one player on here, Reggie Wayne, with receiving yards. He's in 3rd place, 15 touchdowns, 1.4 thousand yards, 102 catches for him. So yeah, Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie with 8 interceptions. That's crazy. Wow. I didn't even see what his overall was, but I'd imagine it's in the 80s, somewhere around there. Chad Greenway, Vikings legend, with 18 sacks, which it's funny because he's not an edge rusher, but because of the Broncos playbook, it has him that. So he still got 18 sacks despite not really having edge rusher or like ratings. So, I mean, I guess that's pretty interesting. But yeah, we'll advance on to see if we can take down the Baltimore Ravens. And we do 31-10. So we beat the Ravens by 21, and we go on to take on the New England Patriots, Tom Brady's former team, and Vince Wilfork's former team as well, and Randy Moss's former team as well. And I'm trying to think, didn't Reggie Wayne play for the Patriots? Or maybe I don't know ball. I need to look that up. Okay, he didn't. He played with Indianapolis his whole career. I don't know why I thought that. We'll just ignore that and pretend I didn't say that. So the Patriots, they went 13-4. They did get the 1 seed, so they had a pretty good season. Their team ranks were pretty decent, but I feel like we match up pretty well with them. Like with defensive rush yards, they are 1st, and the difference is 16 places. So that feels kind of weird that we're 17th with that, but I know sometimes it does glitch out and say that your team is ranked a lot lower than it actually is. So that could be possible. But yeah, outside of that, I think we match up very well with this team. They do score more than us, and they do run the ball a little bit better than us. You know, we'll see if Tom Brady can take down Matthew Stafford in this quarterback duel. So Tom Brady only threw 29 touchdowns. With the Bengals playbook, that's very surprising. Did he throw a lot of interceptions? There's no way Tom Brady threw a lot of interceptions. He threw 7. Like 29 touchdowns. That seems very low. Like I want to see, who is the Bengals quarterback? So Michael Vick. So he threw 28. What was his overall? So he's an 84 overall. And he threw 1 less touchdown than Tom Brady. I mean, I don't know. That just feels weird. Like I feel like he would have a lot more than that. Aaron Rodgers, he had 39. Matt Ryan, did he lead the league? He did, with Dallas playbook with 41. So the Cowboys offensive playbook is very good. I don't think I've used it before in a sim, or maybe I have actually. I feel like I did. I think maybe I did in like a speeder build or something like that, but I do normally use the Bengals one because that one seems to be the best one. But we'll upgrade players real quick. Vince Wilfork, we'll get him up to a 95 overall ahead of this huge divisional matchup against his former team. So we will advance a week here and see if we can go on to the AFC Championship game. And we do 28-7. We take down the New England Patriots. So we won by 3 touchdowns in back-to-back playoff games, which last I checked, that's pretty good. We take on the Denver Broncos here, who of course had a Vikings legend, Chad Greenway here with 18 sacks. And he also is one of their top 3 players. But yeah, just looking at team ranks, their offense was very good. Like their defensive ranks aren't bad necessarily, but their offensive ones are just very good. You know, they're 2nd with points, 5th with pass yards, and 4th with rush yards. This is going to be a pretty tough offense to go against here in the conference championship. And just out of curiosity, did not mean to back out of that, but I want to see what their offense is looking like, just so we get a good scouting report and feel of this team real quick. So offensively, they have Cam Newton at 94 overall, and they have Willis McGahee, I think, I don't even know, at running back. Chad Greenway, of course, Vikings legend, Jordy Nelson. So this is a very good team. They have Calais Campbell, Prince Amukamara, Will Smith. They have a very good team. This team, BJ Raji is in here as well. So a lot of NFC North guys. So yeah, this team is very good. It will be a tough matchup. Who's their second wide receiver? They have Steve Breston, I think, I don't know, Heath Miller, and at tight end. So we'll see if we can take down the Broncos. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a one-score game when we go and check the score of it. But we'll advance to the Super Bowl and see if the Colts make another Super Bowl appearance here. And we do. We take down the Denver Broncos, and we are going to be taking on the Atlanta Falcons. We're going to Revis Island. Oh my gosh. That's not going to be fun for our wide receivers here, but let's just see. What was the score? 20-10, so it was a 2-possession game. I thought it would be a 1-possession game. So it's off by just 1, is what it is. But yeah, we're taking on the Atlanta Falcons here. Their team ranks, you know, their pass yards defensively. I'm not very surprised that they're 3rd. I mean, they have Darrelle Revis. They're 5th with points, 14th with rush yards, and their offense, they score, but they're not really as good as moving the ball as us. To the pass and the run game, they are a little bit better, but in terms of like total, we are a lot better. But Reggie Wayne, he goes up to an 86 overall, so maybe that'll help going to Revis Island a little bit. But we're going to jump in and we're going to watch this game live to see how we can do against the Atlanta Falcons here. They also have Reggie Bush. Didn't notice that at first. So yeah, this should be a pretty good game. We will advance through the first quarter here, see who can score first, and it will be us. We go up 7-0. Now going into the second quarter, let's see if the Falcons they matched our touchdown actually. But yeah, 7-7 going into half. Very low scoring first half, but we'll see if that trend can change. And we go up 14-7. Here in the fourth quarter, we're going to go possession by possession. So we go up 21-7. So the Falcons have 6 minutes 32 seconds to try and get back in this game. We'll advance. Oh, I did not mean to do next quarter. That was a close call. Change of possession. The Falcons make it a 1-possession game. With 3 minutes 7 seconds to go, we'll go play by play here. See if we can run out this clock. Pick up a much needed first down. We're under 2 minutes. So that is a critical penalty there. That puts us in field goal range. But yeah, I mean, we'll jump next play and see if we can run out this clock and see if we can go on to win the Super Bowl. So we'll kick a field goal here. Make it go up by 10 with a minute to go. We're up by 10 with a minute 20 to go. We'll just go play by play. And they have Tim Tebow at quarterback. What is Tim Tebow's overall? We have to see this. I should have probably looked at their roster beforehand. But Tim Tebow, he's an 81 overall. Reggie Bush, he's an 84. Their wide receivers, Deshaun Jackson, I saw that, 99 speed. But yeah, I should have went through their roster. They have Joe Thomas, so that's solid for them. Michael Bennett, Cameron Hayward, and yeah, I did not really go through their roster. Darrell Washington, who just had the penalty on him a couple plays ago. Darrelle Revis, of course, 98 overall. Adrian Wilson. So we'll just play out the last couple of plays here before we assumingly win the Super Bowl. I mean, it's possible the Falcons could come back. I mean, never say never, I guess, but we'll see. Oh, that's a pick all day. There we go. Interception, that is going to do it. The Indianapolis Colts are Super Bowl champions. Not officially, but very close in this Madden 12 fantasy draft. We're going to throw one up to Steve Smith here because we got Tom Brady. We got to do it. Steve Smith, that's okay. That did not go as planned. We'll run one more play, see how this goes. We're going to run a QB draw with Tom Brady. There we go. Wheels. There we go. A huge 2-yard gain there for Tom Brady. We'll run one more play. Just why not? We have time. We'll throw one up. Let's see if we can get Antonio Gates down there. Maybe throw one up to him. It looks like they're blitzing. So we'll throw this up. Oh, okay. That pressure came in pretty quick. 4th and 8 here. We got to go for it. Pick up that first down. Keep this clock going. Steve Smith. That was Keenan McCardle. He beat Darrelle Revis off the press. So that was like a 78 overall wide receiver beating Darrelle Revis off the press. That must have been zone coverage or something. But yeah, the Indianapolis Colts are Super Bowl champions here in this Madden 12 fantasy draft rebuild. Not really a rebuild, but you know what I mean. I'm assuming Tom Brady won MVP. And the Super Bowl MVP was indeed Tom Brady. We didn't have anyone winning any awards, but we won the most important one, the Super Bowl, so that's all that matters. But yeah, with all that being said, that is going to be the end of this Madden 12 fantasy draft here in Madden 25. If you enjoyed, feel free to check out my other content. I do have a ton of Madden 25 content up on my channel. I have a ton of different playlists of all the content that I post. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do that. But Yeah, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching all the way into the end. I really appreciate that. And yeah, thank you all for watching. I will see y'all next time.